this coming year, starting January 6th, when the book launches, Awakening, The Path to Freedom and Enlightenment. At the launch of the book, we're going to be doing a global meditation on awakening. I will also be doing Q&As to our membership base at deepakchopra.com/membership. But during the entire year, I'm going to focus, with your participation, on the year of awakening. One of the things that happens upon awakening is that you begin to realize that in the deeper reality, you are the divine being as pure consciousness. So when you wake up, you know that as consciousness, you're both the artist and the canvas. And the universe is like a painting made of the fluctuations of the self, colors as in a painting, but vrittis or fluctuations of the self, which are also called qualia and spanda. So rather than pigments laid on something external, you, as the divine being, are both the creator of the canvas and the universe painted on that canvas, except it's a 3 or 4-dimensional theater, space-time, causality. You is Atman, which is identical with Brahman. It's the only reality. It is both the material cause and the intelligent cause of the universe. In other words, the cosmos is not made out of anything other than consciousness itself, which is your true self. Classical examples compare this to a rope appearing as a snake. The substratum, which is fundamental reality, seems to diversify without actually changing its nature, just as an artist's mind projects an entire scene upon a blank canvas. So in this view, the multitude of names and forms are like colored strokes on an underlying screen of awareness, appearances of the true self, Atman Brahman, not second substances. Two key Vedic ideas. Maya is the power by which the one consciousness appears as many, projecting a universe of forms like a visual illusion cast upon a screen. Leela is the characterization of this projection as spontaneous play, the play of consciousness, the free, purposeless creativity of the Absolute. Purposeless. You say, what's the point of beauty? What's the purpose of beauty? Beauty is its own purpose. That includes you as a body-mind and the painting behind me and everything else. You are the author of this creative play of the universe. It's not a utilitarian construction meant to achieve some external goal. In that sense, the universe is like artwork created out of sheer delight, ananda, consciousness playing with its own possibilities, arranging and rearranging its vrittis or fluctuations or qualia into endlessly varied scenes. So in yoga and Vedanta, vrittis are modifications of waves in consciousness that underlie perception, emotion, thought, and imagination. They are the basic textures of experience. Contemporary qualia language, sensations, images, feelings, thoughts, maps closely onto this. Qualia, the irreducible, what it is like tones that give any world its felt character. When these vrittis or qualia are patterned and named, they crystallize into the sense of objects or bodies and a world, much as an artist's palette of primary colors yields landscapes, faces, and skies without ever ceasing to be color. Kashmir Shaivism radicalizes the metaphor by saying that Shiva, or pure consciousness, is intrinsically dynamic. And at the ground zero level, you are Shiva. Shiva's very nature is spanda, a subtle pulsation of vibrations. You could even call it a vibration-less vibration through which the universe emerges. This spanda is likened to waves in an ocean of awareness. Every experience, thought, or word is a ripple of Shiva Shakti, not something outside or other than just it. Here, consciousness is not a passive backdrop, but an artist who paints by vibrating. Each vibrational pattern is a stroke that becomes galaxies and minds and moments without ever leaving the medium of awareness. To translate this into contemporary terms by proposing a consciousness field or a qualia field where all possible experiences exist as virtual qualia that can pop into materialist form. So, in this framework, what physics calls quantum fields and particles are actually seen as one mode of describing patterns in consciousness, while our lived world is the qualia side of the same underlying field. I hope that makes sense. If not, listen to this again. The nervous system, brain, and senses are then not primary objects, but specialized qualia configurations through which consciousness interacts with itself. Across these strands, a coherent picture emerges. There's a single, causeless consciousness that is both artist and substance. Maya Leela described the way that consciousness freely projects a cosmos of appearances as creative play. Vrittis, qualia are the colors or brush strokes, fluctuations of awareness that, when interpreted and combined, give rise to bodies, worlds, and histories. Spanda, or the consciousness field, is the ongoing vibrational act of painting where each moment's universe is a fresh, self-aware configuration of the same luminous medium, which is consciousness. All worlds are artworks of awareness, painted with nothing but awareness, and eternally displayed on the boundless canvas of the self. So let's do a meditation. Sit quietly or lie down comfortably, letting the body find a position where it can remain at ease for several minutes. Gently close your eyes and allow a few natural breaths to pass without trying to change them. Simply noticing the rise and fall as the waves are moving across a vast, still ocean. In the background of this movement, sense a quiet, open space of knowing that is not rising or falling, not moving or changing. This open knowing is like a blank, luminous canvas prior to any image, prior to any word. Now bring attention to sounds in the room, emotions, subtle moods, thoughts drifting through you. Instead of relating to them as my body, as my thinking, notice them as waves or brush strokes of experience appearing in the same open awareness. A tingling in the hands is one shade of color. A sound in the distance is another. A thought is another pattern on the canvas. Each vritti, qualia, each movement of sensation, image, feeling, or thought is just a modulation of the same luminous field never separate from the awareness that knows it. Let the sense of inner and outer soften. The so-called world of sounds, the felt presence of the body, and the streaming of thoughts all appear in the same space of knowing, like different regions of one vast painting. There's no border between me and universe here. Only differences in color, texture, and intensity within a single field of experience. Sense how stars, galaxies, people, and this very breath can be understood as consciousness painting itself into countless forms all at once, while never ceasing to be one indivisible expanse, borderless, infinite. If a thought arises like I am meditating, or this is peaceful, or this is difficult, recognize that even that thought is another stroke of color, another vritti in awareness. Instead of being pulled into the content of the stroke, relax back into the feeling of being the canvas on which all strokes appear. This is a gentle shift from I am the character in the painting to I am the openness in which this entire painting appears, including what I call my character. Notice from here, every fluctuation is allowed. Nothing needs to be resisted or clung to because all of it is already made of the same consciousness. Now sense that this awareness is not mechanical or blank, but quietly alive, inherently creative. It is the artist that is also the canvas and the colors. Without effort, it vibrates as sensations, glows as images, sings as thoughts and feelings, and shines as the universe itself, with an artful arrangement of its own vrittis and qualia. In this resting, let there be a soft trust that nothing needs to be added or removed for this wholeness to be complete. When you are ready to close the meditation, deepen the breath slowly and feel the weight of the body where it rests. Slowly open the eyes, letting the visual world come back into view. As you look around, experiment with seeing each object, each person, each movement as another set of colors in the same painting of awareness. You may silently remind yourself, all of this is consciousness, my true self, painting itself, and my true nature is the luminous field in which it appears. Let this recognition accompany you into the next moments of your day as the living continuity of this meditation. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Namaste.